A very good morning to you. This is Football Fan Show coming to you from ARTV Television. Today, of course, is a lovely Thursday morning, being the 17th of December already. Ellams, the month of December seems to be winding up very fast, and we are crawling close and closer to the end of the year.
Yeah, we are hoping for a better 2021. Good morning, Kano. Good morning, Mr. Abdulazeez.
All right, so now we'll begin with right from home. We're talking about football action coming to you right from the vicinity of ARTV Television. We're talking about the ARTV Gold Cup, yes, which is a competition that started earlier in the year. It was played up to just a couple of matches before the COVID-19 pandemic hit us all, and of course the competition had to stop, and it resumed just where we had the resumption of football in the country. And right now you can see the competition has rounded up in the group stages, and as you can see up there on the screen, we already have two teams that have qualified from Group A. We have Ujko FC and Lucky FC qualifying from Group A. Ellams, let's just take the viewers a bit through how this happened. We talked about this on the program where we had those teams that won their matches before the pandemic come back to lose after the pandemic, but we can see Lucky FC was able to crawl back and finally make it. That was a team that lost by 6 goals to 2, if I can remember. In their first game, so, coming back from the COVID-19, but in their third game they were able to make it out.
Yeah, it was a good one because we saw one of the favourites in the group, FC Mopo, Super Strikers.
Yes, from Mopo Bara.
Yes, they were actually the team that everybody was tipping because of the caliber of players in their collection. It is a surprise to see that they were unable to scale through.
Yes.
And the likes of Lucky, who nobody gave.
Yeah, but they lost to Lucky FC in the last match anyway, so that was what I told them.
Actually, that's the way I'm trying to go, because nobody gave them Lucky a chance in that game. Because even me, when I saw the result, I was very shocked because I expected Super Strikers to have dealt with FC Lucky, but unfortunately, the reverse was the case. Yes,
the reverse was the case there. So Ujiko and FC Lucky are through from Group A. Looking at Group B, it's Brahma FC topping the group there with 7 points qualifying there, while we have B Boys as the second team qualifying from Group B with 6 points, while the defending champions of the competition, Remy Holdings, finished in third with 4 points from 3 games. And then we have Dangiwa FC being the side that couldn't make any points from that group. So looking at Group B, of course, the defending champions, Remy Holdings, we saw them last year in the final against the Old Timers, and they were able to defeat the Old Timers, I think by 3 goals to 1 to win the maiden edition. But this time around, they are out.
They are out, yeah. When you see the nature of the caliber of players, and you see the seriousness, you know that other teams, you understand, have seen what the Gold Cup have to offer, and everybody stepping up.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of, if you're not properly prepared, you'll be dropped. And I think that's the case of Remy Holdings. And we have a new boys there, Brahma FC, topping the group.
Yeah.
Because being the fact that Remy Holdings have played on this stuff, everybody was expecting
to see more. They are like landlords already.
Yes, you understand. Playing in the final, winning the competition, you understand. And I think even the teams they played against, the Old Timers, also are struggling in their own group. So that's to tell you.
Yeah, but we'll come to that. That group hasn't been concluded yet. Yes, but Group B is done and dusted. We have Brahma FC and B-Boys. So the ARTV Gold Cup started with 16 teams, of course, and right now we are pruning it down to 8 teams, where we'll have the quarterfinals. Then we'll have those 8 teams slugging it out to the quarterfinals. But we still have Group C and D, which will be concluded in coming days. So moving away from the ARTV Gold Cup, we'd like to go to the national scene, of course, to talk about the Nigerian Women Professional Football League, or the Nigerian Women Football League, the way it's properly put. Right now, our Men's Football League, nowhere to be found. We've been trying to get from the administrators actually what is happening and why our league cannot start. We heard so many things like there's a new CEO that's going to be appointed in coming days and all that. But the Nigerian Women Football League has started running match day 2 results. You can see up there on the screen. We have the full time for Dream Stars FC losing at home to Edo Queens. That's one of the Lagos teams there, losing at home to Edo Queens, which is a team that is doing very well this time around in Nigerian Women Football League already. In their first game, they won their first game by 4 goals to 1, and this is now going away to get an away win there for the Edo Queens.
Yeah, you trust the Edo Queens because when you see them play, you understand they have a point to prove this time. I think now it's not just going to be one-way things. Before it used to just be Pelican Stars, maybe against River Angels, but this time around, other teams are stepping up.
Yeah, so now looking at other results there up on the screen, we have Rivers Angels thumping Delta Queens 6 goals to 2. Delta Queens seem to have collected 10 goals already in just 2 matches. In just 2 matches in Nigeria Women League.
The teams that are usually on top are usually now going down. Maybe because they felt the name is already established, so there's a kind of relaxation. So I think that's it's generally happening even in the European scene. Even the big teams are now struggling. So I think it's a worldwide thing.
Yeah, so looking at the other results there, Sunshine Queens defeating Confluence Queens by 2 goals to 0. And no complaints there for Confluence Queens. They had some complaints from the coach right after the first game of the season. Looking at Pelican Stars and Ibrahim Angels, they were able to play 1-1 draw there at the home ground of Pelican Stars. Then we have Nasarawa Amazons, the surprise result, of course, of the week. The 2017 champions actually losing at home again to Bayelsa Queens this time around. They lost at home in the opening day fixture to FC Robo, and look at another loss again for Nasarawa Amazons. Then looking at FC Robo defeating Osun Babes by 3 goals to 1, while we had the Royal Queens with a slim win, of course, over the Abia Angels. So that's match day 2 of the Nigerian Women Football League, which of course will be a regular feature on a football fan show. The women's football, of course, is something that we always like to promote and tell you that it makes us very happy to see that our women's league is actually properly organized and even looking better than the men's league.
Actually, when you look at even in the women football, you understand, naturally it has been the source of joy
for Nigeria.
You understand, when you look at especially the Nations Cup, though they've not been able to really stamp their authority in the world scene. But at the under 20 level, we've seen what they've able
to the finals.
We've seen the under 17 what they've done. So I think it's a good one for the women's league. I want to give Aisha Falode a kudos. You understand, she has also been doing well and talking tough. You understand, she's like an Iron Lady actually, bringing the women.
And the most important thing is doing what you talk. That's the most important thing. But like the men's league, it's off now. The Nigerian Professional Football League hasn't started, and we don't know when it will start. All those messages we've been getting, we don't know what to actually tell you, but just have to tell you that we are expecting.
Just keep your fingers
crossed. Now let's move over to the foreign scene. Of course, we had to wait to see the round of 16 ties there in the UEFA Champions League, and we'll come to that right after this break. It's Football Fan Show. Stay with us. Alright, welcome back. The Still Football Fan Show with me, Abdulazeez, Ibrahim, and Ellams Awwal. And now let's move over to talk about the UEFA Champions League round of 16 draws. You can see we have some crunch encounters already there with some top teams pitched against each other. But we'd like to go through them one after the other, starting with the encounter that we have dubbed as the biggest encounter in the round of 16. We have picked Liverpool going up against RB Leipzig. So that's the first game we're going to be talking about, Ellams. Liverpool, RB Leipzig, of course. Picking that game, of course, is looking at the strength of both teams and knowing that it can go either way.
Yeah. When you look at RB Leipzig, I think we understand who never see that. We've seen what they've been doing at in the Bundesliga, and we know that whatever they're achieving is not just out of sheer luck. You understand?
They actually work for it.
Yes, it's a very determined team. You see players like Ndiaye Kano. We saw Timo Werner when he was there before he left to Chelsea. So it's a very young squad. You understand, who have a lot to deliver. So when you look at RB Leipzig taking on Liverpool, you understand, it's
similar to another team that works very well for their results.
Well. And you look at the manager Jurgen Klopp, you understand, who's had a lot of input in that team. You understand, he has made Liverpool world beater. So it's really going to be an encounter, especially with the fact that RB Leipzig were the team who dumped Manchester United out of the Champions League.
3 goals to 0.
So you know that they are not just any pushover. So nobody can tell you convincingly that who is going to come out tops from that game.
But we would like to put the noose around your neck. You have to tell us. Yeah, that's what we usually do. You don't just say, okay, actually, who are you tipping?
I'm tipping Liverpool to come out top.
Okay.
You understand? After the 2 legs, because it's really going to be
the 2 legs.
Yes. So when I believe once Liverpool are able to make it in their home, you understand, the other fixture is really going to be tight for them, but they might lose by a slim margin, which RB Leipzig may not be able to use to qualify. So I think Liverpool will go through.
Okay, so that's Ellams tipping Liverpool from that encounter there, talking about RB Leipzig versus Liverpool. The next encounter is for two teams that have a similar playing style, meaning that when they have to park the bus and to play negative football, the way we call it, they can do it. Talking about Atletico Madrid up against Chelsea. So Atletico Madrid facing Chelsea this time around. Two managers not too far apart age-wise. Anyway, we know that Diego Simeone is a very, very young and athletic manager, and looking at Frank Lampard too. But when it comes to going head-to-head with these two teams, right now looking at their current standing, I seem to want to tip Chelsea ahead of Atletico Madrid. Agree?
No. What I want to draw attention to is they have 2 strikers who have played in England. One actually played with Chelsea. That's talking of Diego Costa. We know how hungry he is. We saw his attitude during the time he played for Chelsea. And we also saw Luis Suarez, whose Stamford Bridge was like a home for him, where he always
came to score goals.
Yeah, so it's really going to be, and now they have another acquisition in person of João Felix, who is really going to bring more bite to the attack. So I think it's really going to be a very tough one
for Frank Lampard's boys.
Because when you look at all these big names they bought, they've not really been very influential to the team.
Yeah.
We still have to Frank Lampard has still going to rely.
But don't you think by that time the team would? It happens, of course, with a new team.
Yeah.
You need to give the team some time to gel. But looking at Chelsea this season, can you say they've actually performed too woefully for having a new team with so many new players?
Not having to perform woefully. When you look at the new quality, the players, you understand,
they have a lot of quality.
So everybody was even tipping them to be title contenders. But the way they've been
playing, they still are anyway.
Yeah, they still are, but they're very shaky. And when you look at the way Chelsea have played this season, you will not believe that they've injected those amounts of players into that team. They still have relied.
But you could give them time and things could come.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I'm going to give them time, it's not going to be Chelsea's season actually, because even before the beginning of this season, I predicted Chelsea going to win the title. You understand? But the way they've been playing, and I've been seeing the way the team is, I believe this time around Chelsea is not going to be.
So that means, let's just go right straight into it. Atletico Madrid, Chelsea. You seem to be tipping Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, Atletico Madrid going for.
All right, we've talked about the top fixtures football-wise, but one of the matches that I know will be, of course, the biggest fixture of the round of 16 in the Champions League, economic-wise, of course, will be Barcelona versus PSG, knowing where these two teams play their football. And in these two grounds, you know how big it would be to have both teams. Unfortunately, of course, we still don't have fans, and we might not likely have fans returning to the stadium for both games. But anyway, we'll always be on these two teams, and we're hoping to watch it and see how it will fall out. But the two players that we have all eyes on, of course, on Barcelona's side, it will be Lionel Messi, while on the other side, it should have been Neymar, but we are not too sure. But we know that Kylian Mbappe will want to step up to do it for PSG.
Yeah, PSG still have players who could do the damage. Though what I believe PSG on doing, they've not really played as a team. Yeah. And if you see them in this League One this season, they've been suffering. They've been suffering a lot, and they have quality players, the likes of Di Maria, who could step up, the likes of Julian Draxler. So all these are big players, you understand, who you expect to do the damage. Some seasons back, they had the opportunity of dumping Barcelona out, only for Barcelona to come back to win 6-1 there. So I think PSG are really going to have it, should I say, be on a revenge mission, because now they're not having Unai Emery again in the helms of affair, who cost them that. This time around, they're going to Thomas Tuchel, and this time we're going to see a different lineup. Though I hope Neymar will be back by then, because he's really going to add a lot of spice to the
game.
Yeah.
So now let's go to another game quickly. Usually, you would have said Real Madrid versus Atalanta would be a one-way affair. But can you still say the same this time around?
Yeah, it's still going to be one-way affair. Okay. Because Atlanta too also have their own shares of
misgivings.
Yes, so we saw them; they were almost losing it from the group stage. So it's a good one. Real Madrid having Atlanta, it's an opportunity for them
for hours in a incident.
Yeah, and I believe Real Madrid, they're going to make signings in January, so they're going to really fortify the thing. So I'm still going to give it to Real Madrid.
So now let's quickly go through other games. We have FC Porto against the team that has the biggest player in Portugal. That's talking about Cristiano Ronaldo in Juventus. So looking at this tie now, of course, it should be no Messi from Juventus when they are going up against
Actually,
FC
when you see Cristiano Ronaldo going to play in Portugal, he has a lot to prove. So which all eyes are really going to be on him. He played against Porto when he was in Lisbon, and he scored goals against them. So this time around, going back to Porto again, you understand, it's really going to be, should I say, homecoming for for Cristiano Ronaldo. So it's not going to be as if he's not going to feel any pressure of playing away. It's still going to be like he's still at home. So I believe Juventus are really going to have a field day when they take on Porto. Though I would have loved to see our own boy Zedu Sanusi progress with FC Porto, but I'm really going to say it's not going to be like that. Though I would have loved to see
it happen.
Yeah.
So looking at another game again quickly, that's the last game that we're talking about in the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. We talk about Mönchengladbach playing against Man City. For this game, of course, definitely, if it were last season, you think, you believe Man City could make it through. But for this season, it's not too sure.
Yeah, why we are looking at it like that is because of the way Man City have been playing. But don't forget, January is around the corner.
Yeah.
Winter signings will be on. So I'm telling you, I can beat my chest.
That Man City have to fortify their team.
Yeah, I'm really going to fortify, because during this last window, they just tried to strengthen their defense.
So because of the outside of some players.
Yes, and this time around, I'm still looking at the possibility of Messi leaving Barcelona to Man City, which may likely happen in January if things go the way Pep Guardiola wants. So I think that also was a factor which made him not to sign players, because I keep trying to track of Pep Guardiola, because now he has just Sergio Aguero and
the injury-prone Sergio
Aguero, and Ibrahim. So it's not really fun for him, but I believe with the coming of Messi, if Messi will actually come, because I think that he's creating a space for Lionel Messi to come into that team, because we've seen him try Riyad Mahrez as a top 9. So that shows you that he's trying different things. He's experimenting and trying to keep a void in case Messi comes in January. So we're hoping to see Manchester City strengthen their squad in January, because they will have the money to spend. So I think they're going to release me.
Alright, so that's the tip, but you have not told us. Mönchengladbach going through Manchester City, you have to
definitely Man City.
Okay, definitely Man City. And maybe that should be as a fan. So I usually don't like to give my predictions, even though deep down in my gut I believe that Mönchengladbach will be the team that will pull through. So that's how it has been on this segment of Football Fan Show. We'll see you right after the break. Alright, welcome back. It's still Football Fan Show. Of course, your top number one football show for the football fans right here. I'm still here. My name is Abdulazeez Ibrahim, and I'm with Ellams Awwal. We cannot leave today's show, of course, without talking about one of the big events coming up later today at about 19:00 Central European time, which is, of course, the same thing, Nigerian time, 7 p.m. We'll decide, or we'll have the decision of who is the men's best footballer for 2020. We have the three nominees, and we started a poll already on our social media where we have Lionel Messi, the guy from Barcelona and Argentina, the player, of course, has the most decorated player, talking about winning 6 top player of the year awards already. We have Cristiano Ronaldo also there from Portugal and Juventus, who has 5 in the kitty, going for number 6. And then the fellow who has never won it, but it seems to be the fellow that many are saying that might most likely have it. That's talking about Robert Lewandowski, of course, who is the man from Poland and playing for Bayern Munich. So later today, Ellams will know for sure who is the top player of the year. But looking at the poll that we've been getting so far, are you still on the track of saying it has to be Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Today is Thursday already. Your mind might have changed
No,
from the last time.
actually, it's still Cristiano Ronaldo, because I felt the lad has done a great job. You understand? When you look at his work rate for Juventus and Portugal, that's where I want to give him an edge over the others, especially Robert Lewandowski, who hasn't really done much with Poland. And coincidentally, these 3 guys are the captain of their teams. You understand? When you look at what Ronaldo has done with Portugal, the amount of goals he has got, and how crucial some of these goals have been, you know that Cristiano Ronaldo is really the man for the job. When you look at Lionel Messi, he's not really fired with Argentina. He's just done it with Barcelona. And if you look at for last season, he really had a frustrated season where he almost wanted to ditch Barcelona, and he claimed that it caused a kind of stay in the club, you understand. Then looking at Robert Lewandowski, he might have won the Champions League, the DFB Pokal, you understand, and also the Bundesliga. But you don't want to give him that kind of should I say kind of main fit, because to me he was not really the star of the day. We had the likes of Serge Gnabry, the likes of Leon Goretzka, who had great input, you understand. The likes of Kingsley Coman, who, though I know it's going to take a long time before we see him being nominated or standing on the podium. So I still feel it's going to be Cristiano Ronaldo Day.
Alright, then let's look at other categories. For the best FIFA women's player, we have Lucy Bronze of England and Olympique Lyon, or Manchester City, of course. Then we have Pernille Harder of Denmark and VfL Wolfsburg and Chelsea FC women team. Then we have Wendy Renard, who maintained her team, of course, in Olympique Lyon all through the year, and she is from France. And looking at these 3 women, Ellams, who do you think to be tipping to get it today?
Yeah, I think I want to give it to Wendy Renard.
Okay.
You understand? Who has played with France. We saw what she did at the Women's World Cup. We saw what she has been doing with the Lyon team. You understand? Okay. They've been one of the best teams, you understand, when it comes to women football. And I believe she has also had a lot to contribute, you understand, to both the Lyon team and the French national team.
Okay, now let's go to another result there. Let's look at the 3 best goalkeepers. Alison Becker of Brazil and Liverpool. We have Manuel Neuer of Germany and FC Bayern Munich. Jan Oblak of Slovenia and Atletico Madrid. Let me ask this question this way, Ellams. Who will you be surprised to see to get the win out of these 3 goalkeepers? Who will surprise you?
If he should be...
Yes, if he should be crowned the best goalkeeper at the end of today.
I think that should be Alison Becker.
Okay.
Alice, he should come the list.
Okay.
And among the 3. Yeah, he should come the list among the 3. In my order, we have Alison Becker in 3rd position.
Okay.
Jan Oblak 2nd,
and then Manuel Neuer.
Yeah, because we saw what Manuel Neuer did. He was, like I said, one of the main persons who made Bayern Munich win the treble. We saw the heroics he did. You understand? I call him the sweeping goalkeeper, and I know many goalkeepers are trying to emulate from Manuel Neuer. He's a living legend, you understand, already. And though age might not really be on his side anymore, but I think he has offered a lot. And many people thought after that his long-term injury, it was going to be down and out, you understand. But he showed why he is the boss. And many people, even in the game against Barcelona, they were like, okay, Ter Stegen is really going to show Manuel Neuer why he should be number one in Germany. But unfortunately, we saw Manuel Neuer still telling him, guy, you still have to be on the bench for me.
So now let's take a look at this last one. Best FIFA men's coach, Marcelo Bielsa of Argentina and Leeds United. Then we have Hans-Dieter Flick of Germany and FC Bayern Munich. And then Jurgen Klopp of Germany and Liverpool. I've been hearing Klopp for this segment of the FIFA Best. But would you agree, considering the fact that Hans Flick actually won the Champions League last season?
Actually, I'll give it to Hans Flick. That's where I was going. Hans Flick, he's the man. He's done it.
The man of the moment.
Yeah, he's done. He's been like with the German national team, also the Bayern Munich team. So if you saw what he did. Some people, I like to put it this way, some people said he did Ujuru by going to take some players on loan which he used to win the Champions League, and he let them go. So he knows, that's to tell you that this is a coach who knows what
his team needs.
Yes. So when you look at the likes of Jurgen Klopp, it's not that they've done badly
last season, considering they won the Premier League again.
Yes, and they're looking at Marcelo Bielsa bringing Leeds back to the top flight after how many years of absence. But I still give it to Hans Flick. Yes. All
right, so that's how it has been. Of course, they're talking about the FIFA Best Awards coming up later tonight. Today, of course, being Thursday, the 17th of December. It's Football Fan Show. I hope we've been able to take you through all the mouth-watering football gist that you want to hear on a Thursday morning, coming to you from Abubakar Television Kano. The next edition of the show, of course, will come up on a Monday by 7:30 a.m.